Hey there. I guess I should unmute us.
You should maybe face the camera a little. It's over there.
Oh, the camera is over there, isn't it? I'll look that way. You know what? Let's switch chairs. This chair's a lot taller than that one.
Oh yeah, so I look even shorter than you.
Yeah, we're gonna switch chairs. Hi-oh.
But then I'm not gonna control.
You're gonna pull it out. No, we're just gonna scoot up the chairs, pick that up, and pull that over.
Oh. Scoot over because I need to hide behind the table more.
So now she's gonna not look quite. Oh look, that just works.
Come on, you gotta give me some room. I can't be having my big belly showing.
How's everybody doing? It's been a while. We're kind of bad at keeping up on this once a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's been going on with us?
Weight gain and eating and back pain and stuff.
Well, today we finally decided to do a live stream. We didn't have much prep time. We are we don't have a lot of shoots happening. We got all this editing going on, and we've kind of been a render farm.
Yeah, we've got a lot of shoots that we've done, but now we're done, and we only have 2 this next 2 weeks, which is, they're big ones, but it's awesome to only have 2.
But we got, I mean, literally just dozens and dozens of renders. It's just taking forever.
Oh, the renders. Hours and hours and hours. It's all you do. You can't do anything else while it's happening.
You might notice a new set, and a new thing over here that this is why nothing's getting done. But yeah, we have a conference room. We've just done some work on the studio, and it doesn't look half bad, at least on video.
Yeah.
So, what else, Sarah? But you can't see the video game.
Oh, it's just so important. It's all about the Pac-Man.
So we've been very busy, very, very busy, and that's kind of why we haven't kept the podcast going every month on the day, and why we haven't done a live stream.
Right, yeah. It's just all the editing and shooting and coming up on the business report end of the year video kind of stuff, and
we have
a lot of headshots, which is always good. Always doing a lot of headshots.
And we've done some huge projects that have kept us up all night.
Yes, they have. But the top of my project right here, right now, says "Don't say the F word."
All right. Well, I won't say frankly. Well, frankly.
Oh my God, he said it. No, stop saying that.
Well, I look really shiny. You can tell I was moving around.
He didn't get a chance to get his makeup done, but he ushered me at the last minute to hurry up and get my makeup on. He's like, "We're going in a few minutes." I'm like, "What? I don't have makeup on." And of course, I've been sneezing all day because, I don't know, maybe it's the ceiling falling in on us.
Yeah, that happens. Our ceiling drops just random flakes of something. Could be asbestos, it could be lead paint, we're not sure.
It's just a little bit of debris, but it's okay because I got 2 feather dusters up in here and a vacuum cleaner, so we're good.
Yeah. Let me just say, so I did.
So you talked about your Pac-Man game. How's that going?
The Pac-Man
How
game,
long did it take you to beat the high score?
The high score, I got this on Facebook Marketplace. I've been looking for one. I got scammed, by the way. I think I talked about that a little bit last time. But I got my money back. Some scam thing. But managed to find this on Facebook Marketplace. I went to pick it up. And the last dude had a high score on there. But I haven't had it for that long and I've already beat it. So take that, last dude.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to give him a kiss on the cheek while he's trying to beat the high score because
this is going to be, if you rent out our studios, you do have access to free games on this.
Yeah, and there's no quarters, so.
No quarters.
I have to.
And it actually has Pac-Mania, Pac-Man Plus, and Galaxian, which is, I don't know, from 1979, so it's really boring. So. What else? We could show you a little clip about us working all night.
Is it? See, I don't know what he's put together, so I guess I can't be responsible.
I mean, you've seen this before.
Yeah.
This is just a small portion.
I just have this terrible feeling that at some point I'm in it going.
I think we both were. So wait, let's set this up. So this is part of a series we're doing. I don't know when we'll actually get one done, but we're recording behind the scenes on all of our shoots, and kind of documenting everything because it might be interesting to somebody, especially someone doing what we're doing. And this one is just like a small portion of one of them, where we did. How many months did we work on that project?
Which one?
The big one that we had 3 all-nighters in a row.
It seems like we're working on.
Maybe 2 months?
There's 2 of those per year, and it seems like we're working on them 6 months out of the year. At least
Well, this
three,
one-
at least 3 months.
I think so. We were at 3
At
months,
least, yeah.
and we were down to the wire on it, and things were changing a lot.
Yeah, that always happens.
So anyways, this is like just a small snippet of that series, but this is why we haven't done a live stream or a podcast. So let's have a look. Alright, days and days of no sleep. Finally got the videos done at 9 or 10 this morning. All the videos, all the slides, pretty much their entire presentation here. And now we're at the event, getting filming it. Couldn't plug into the PA for sound, so we're using a little trick, clipping a wireless lav to the actual stage microphone at the podium. We'll see how that turns out. Let's have a look at the place. Tired and loopy as I am, just kind of didn't seem right to not shoot at least one shot with a phone vertical, which is something I really always complain about and despise, but why not? You know, I think it's Wednesday. We've been on a couple hours of sleep since Sunday night. We started this whole escapade of all-nighters, and the event just concluded. We're still here. We're not going to load out until some of the people goes. Too many people start hauling equipment out. So you can see our videos and all the mistakes videos that were rendered at noon, around 11 o'clock this morning, to an audience of 350, 400 people. It was awesome. All right, bye.
Segway.
All right. Segway. Hi.
That's a weird word.
So yeah, that's why we haven't done a live stream for a while.
Yep. Busy.
We were doing projects like that.
And then there's a recovery period with several headshots in it, and
Yeah.
other little random shoots.
And other editing and all the stuff we didn't work on while we were working on
That
that
we didn't
project.
get finished.
So yeah, Yeah. What do you got in your hand there? What are we using on our new conference table? This conference table is
So,
awesome.
you know, when you move into a big for improvements, you kind of make little things that are cool to jazz it up a little. And other than working on these walls with very creative methods and burlap and foam core and paints and those kind of things, I thought that I didn't want to buy any coasters, so I thought I would just make some. And you get these little wood squares at the dollar store, and I made some clever little stickers and branded it with the, and then painted it and did a real thick varnish. You can use. I used a varnish, but I actually think Mod Podge is about the best thing you can seal it with because it's practically bulletproof. So yeah, we got some for his birthday. I made him some WDVs.
They're very
Coasters,
cute.
yeah.
They're very cute.
Even though we have like a laminate, really nice table that probably wouldn't be hurt by anything, they just look cute.
We do have.
You hot? We did turn all the fans off because you know you can't hear.
There she
Yes,
is.
there's Sudden Onset Doghead.
This
Hi,
is
Sudden
not.
Onset Doghead. Are you gonna be in the video? Oh yes, my elbows are dirty too.
So wait, you had. Okay, let's talk about yesterday. You were a pain in the butt.
Hey, that's what the
We
nose
had
judging.
we had a bit of a shoot. I can hear my phone making noise. We had a bit of a shoot. It was a pretty simple shoot, just exterior shots of a big project, another big project we're working on. Last stuff we had to shoot was outside. Some drone shots, some time lapses, just some random stuff. And you were like, it's Sunday though. I mean, we haven't had a full weekend off.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
We were like, you were like, I'll sit in the car. You got this.
Yeah, that's a burnout thing. We never really made any plans other than to shoot it on a weekend day when there was no traffic around. And so, yeah, I'm having a little bit of car trouble. And it was also Saturday was my first day off, and I don't know how long, and I was dog sitting. So I was a little distracted by kind of, you know, the leisure life and not shooting anything and not sitting in front of a computer and not editing. So I got a little spoiled on that one whole day that I had off.
Right.
So come Sunday, I'm like, I don't want to shoot anything. So, you know. I had all day Saturday, and I had really laid around all day Sunday too until the evening when the golden hour came. And then I got out and started shooting, and I think I realized I was just like, I mean, he's like, what's wrong with you? Your attitude is awful. And I'm like, I think I'm blocked. I just don't want to shoot anything. I'm just not motivated. Nothing seems exciting. So I think to get out of that, first of all, you have to have somebody kind of push you a little. So there's that support factor that we all need. And then there's just a getting out there and doing it. I mean, the lighting was so beautiful. We got so lucky that the light was so beautiful. And I don't know, I just started shooting some things and things came together. I ended up getting some beautiful footage. Now, that's not always the case. Sometimes I get totally burnt out and I show up and I shoot what I have to shoot. And usually I'll get distracted with whoever I'm working with. The people always distract me, and I end up having a great time because of that. But when it's just shooting something, sometimes you just gotta do it anyway. But yesterday was nice. I got out of myself a little bit by trying something new, you know, that time lapse, and it ended up being a really good night. I ended up feeling really good about it. But I think I'm saying this to say that I think the most important part of being blocked is having support. I have many, many support people in my life that will push me a little bit, and this is probably my biggest support here.
Well, it's not hard to get blocked either. I mean, and that's not just shooting, that's editing, that's...
He quits every 6 months or so he gets blocked.
Yeah, I'm about on an annual quitting basis now. But then I get employee of the month and a raise, so I have to
No, he'll quit, and then I'll go over to his house to collect my things, and he is working on the next video. He's editing it, so it's like, okay, well, I guess he did quit.
So we're doing things a little different. We have a whole different setup here. We don't have two monitors. We got this little, we got one of our camera monitors here that I'm switching off of. And we don't have the little sound mixer here. We are running our sound, we're simplifying this setup here for our live streams. We do a little different for clients. So we have our our sound going straight into the camera through a boom mic and then straight through HDMI into the computer. And I just noticed that our B camera was muted. So every time I switched to B camera, no one could hear it.
Yay!
Yes, please hire us for do your live streams. We do it. We don't do it like that. We don't have the same setup. I was trying to simplify everything for here.
You would have checked.
But luckily, I noticed that we didn't do a recording test beforehand because it was what 10 o'clock.
Which we would do on a live stream.
So I didn't switch. I noticed I wasn't switching to B cam at all, and then I did a couple times, and I noticed we didn't have any sound coming out of it. So sorry about that. Hire us for your live stream. We do great work. Speaking of great work, last time we did a live stream, it was a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And
it was still cold out.
It was still cold out, and we showed a little video about our live stream stuff. That's a good
Did we
segue.
really? That's that old already?
Yes,
Oh
that
my
was
God.
February. So this is what's called a good segue into the next thing we wanted to
It's
show.
Segway and not Sedgway.
Let's segue.
Pardon me, I have a Tecumseh
So
high
it's,
school
it's
education.
how you segue, how you transition to another subject.
Okay, I
So-
learned a new word.
We did post this on social media, but I don't think the live people saw it. Saw.
Did they saw it?
Didn't see it. There's some bloopers from that. So go back and look at our last live stream, or look at our little advertisement on our YouTube for live streaming. It took a little
Nobody's
bit of
gonna do
effort. Oh no, what? Okay.
Go ahead.
Anyways, here's Sarah's bloopers.
It's gotta be me. Increase your attendance at your event by having in-person and virtual. I can't say words. And virtual. What's a virtual? What's a component?
We're gonna have some outtakes.
No, don't post that. I can't say words. Okay. The COVID-19 pandemic has forced business events, conferences.
Okay, I wasn't sure where that ended because we can't hear it. We're not. I didn't bring speakers out to listen to it. All right. What are we going to dig into?
Oh.
We have a whole list of things, and like I said, we kind of didn't plan much.
Scams, thefts, and bad apples. Well, if you know anything about me, you know I absolutely hate people who steal. Well, I mean, I don't hate the people. I don't like that behavior. That's a very awful behavior.
Yeah, we have a bunch of stuff that actually isn't part of that. Let's not show the editing video because it's like 3.5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
But we'll put a link somewhere. We should just share it on We Do Vids because it's awesome.
Yeah.
If you do video, it's a big deal.
Are you talking about the
The
7 steps to editing? Yes,
Yeah,
that is
yeah,
just
yeah,
really
yeah.
cute. Yes.
So, I don't know. I guess we can just kind of start anywhere. The scam part's kind of long, but...
Yeah.
So what do we want to start with?
I don't know. I started to talk about the scam thing.
Let's go there.
Because I'm sitting on the couch, like, cutting up pieces of burlap to cover up bad walls in the studio. And overhearing him watching all the terrible things going on in San Francisco where all these photographers are just getting their equipment stolen.
Speaking of which, I think there's a getaway car going by.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't know if anybody can hear that, but it just went down Linden if you're missing any
Yeah,
cameras.
I think so.
Yeah, like, I wonder what is fueling that. I mean, it almost seems organized. Like groups of people stealing and selling equipment from some of the news stories I've heard. There's like a meeting place and everything where they sell off all the stuff. And
Now, we did show one of these, like, I don't know, 6 months ago, 8 months ago.
I think it was more like a year ago that this happened.
We should just have a quick look. So what we're talking about, I mean, the theft thing, I mean, you got news reporters doing live on the scene stuff and people coming up with guns and stealing their cameras in San Francisco. They say, don't let that deter you as a photographer or videographer from visiting San Francisco. But I tell you what, we do have insurance. It still deters me. It's the whole gun death
Of course they're
thing.
going to say that because they want the tourist attention, and that is big money for San Francisco. It's devastating if people don't come there for them. And I remember in the early 90s going out on the Greyhound and living on the streets out there, and nobody ever bothered me in my little camera. I mean, granted, it was a Pentax film camera, but it was still, like, at the time, it was very valuable. You know, I used it for the newspaper when I first started.
Well, what I noticed, since I grew up in Dayton, lived out west for 20 years, come back, trends, habits, good or bad, tend to travel from one of the coast and make their way.
That's true. Yes.
So,
we
I mean,
have
are
this to look forward to.
Are we looking forward to that in 10 years here in the Midwest?
Maybe not even 10 years with the way gas prices keep going.
Let's look quickly at the one that we showed 8 months ago. This new switching thing, I have to do a weird thing and just to get to that screen. So I didn't add any sound to the monitor thing, so so I'm gonna go ahead. Let's go ahead and watch this. Let's go ahead and watch this video we showed you 8 months ago, because I have a couple more. And while we're watching that in silence, I will. You will hear the video. You just won't hear us.
It's
I'm gonna
quiet
add our
time.
sound. I'm gonna add our sound into it. So here we are.
They don't even know what happened at all. They didn't even look in the right direction of the car.
So did you happen to see just how that played out? That was just kind of insane. Like, they just pulled up. They were getting onto a highway ramp, and boom, people just jumped out. That was crazy. That was really crazy
bashed
to me.
out the back. They knew exactly where that camera was, which tells me they were watching them.
So there's a ton of stories. I'm gonna put on another one here, if I can find it. Actually, the thing about this one is you really need sound, and I don't have the sound in that. Maybe I'll try to fix the sound real quick. Give me just a second.
Fast acting sound
This is
man.
terrible. This is terrible that I don't have the. This is the last little thing I put together. So hold on just a second. All right, you guys see a little bit behind the scenes. Let's see if we can hear this clip though. Let me find it again. So that was $35,000 worth of filmmaking equipment. There's a Canadian documentary filmmaking crew who was out there. There are tons of examples, and I had it all set up. I can't show you all of them because I didn't set the sound and stuff up right. One was they followed the photographer back to their house, like to another
Yeah, like
city.
40 minutes. Yeah.
And he had a Tesla, so captured all the footage. Plus, when he pulled into his house, he had security cams outside, and he tried to run him over. They were shooting guns just to break through his back window of his car and get his camera. What was another one? The wedding photographer sitting there taking pictures at a scenic place in San Francisco. People come up and there was a physical fight that happened. I think he held onto his camera.
He held onto his camera and fought
and
people
the
off.
wedding videos.
Which is absolutely what I would do. I'm sorry. I don't care. Nobody's taking my stuff.
So,
But yeah, that's having been a victim of a car theft of equipment. It really is. And then how did that person even know that I had that stuff? I think there was one neighbor in my neighborhood that knew what I did, and I think that was who did it. Luckily, I had insurance and was able to replace the things that were taken, but still, it was $4,000 worth of stuff, and it was a very scary process because you're like, oh my god, like this. At the time, I was so vulnerable and needed that equipment so bad, it could have ruined my career. I mean, it could have ruined everything. I may not be where I am today had I not been able to recover that equipment.
well, there's a lot of people that I'm aware of who are doing this, trying to get into it and trying to live off of it, who don't have anything else going on. If they lost their equipment,
Yeah,
they wouldn't be able to
You
replace
can't
it.
do that. Professional Photographers of America has a modest program for basic coverage. It's only $30 a month. I highly recommend it if you're just starting out because you have to have something. It's just not realistic to not have any kind of insurance and business insurance in case you do damage to someone else. So those are two things that I would not work without.
And I think if you're going into video or photography and you plan to do it for money and plan to live off of it, I think it's really important to do everything right. Otherwise, it's always going to be a hobby. You're going to get
You're
your
gonna be
$100
vulnerable.
here and there.
Yeah.
If you lose your stuff, it's going to be problematic. Do the insurance. Get the business license. Get all of the insurance.
Yeah, those things are doable and not very expensive, especially if you have some kind of mentorship and coaching and support that way.
Yeah, and just don't, I mean, when you're starting out, I guess it's great to just do that handshake arrangement. But if something goes wrong, when we were talking about bigger things and money, having that contract, writing that proposal out, becomes more of a thing. Having that insurance, a lot of big jobs. Remember when we were starting out and we had a school district wanting us to do something, and they asked us about insurance, and we had no idea what they were talking about.
Right. Yeah.
And we're like, oh, we could get, blah. We have our equipment insured finally. And they're like, that's not what we're talking about.
Right, yeah, they didn't come right out and say
we don't
that.
care about your equipment. We're talking about our
I can't remember
stuff.
what ended up happening with that job, but the following job, we immediately got the business insurance, and the following job actually asked us to claim them. And I didn't want to. This was a new client
We had
at
to
the
name
time.
them on the.
I didn't know what they meant. We had to. Will you please name us on your insurance? And I'm like, I had to contact my insurance company and say, what are they talking about? And I didn't want to tell the client I didn't know what they were talking about. So thank goodness my insurance company, again through Professional Photographers of America, explained what they wanted and what the process was to get that done for them, and then they were impressed by that. And I've had to several times
Actually,
name a client on my insurance to be specifically covered.
Actually, I think one of our most recent large contracts, we did a proposal. We sent over the contract. We already named them on our insurance.
Yeah.
We sent all that over.
And that was expected.
And that was expected, but I think that definitely was going to set you apart from
Somebody who might, right. Yeah.
Someone who's serious versus someone who isn't. Which, yeah, take the plunge, dude. I mean, just do it.
Yeah.
Honestly, yes, if you're kind of broke, it's just not that much money, though, really.
No, it's not.
And
I would say if
to
we
insure your equipment, it's absolutely
where
worth
we were
it.
3 years ago, if we can afford it, anybody can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially through Professional Photographers of America.
Yeah, which is a good organization.
Yes.
They have a lot of resources.
Definitely. And it's okay to be dumb and be like, I don't know what this means.
And they still need to send us stickers.
Yeah, you know what? If somebody comes to me and says, I don't understand this, I would so much rather help someone than have them pretend they know and then make a mistake.
And, that when you offer your client that kind of like it looks like you have it together. You have that professionalism. You got it together. You know what you're doing. Let's talk about nonprofits
Oh, we do a lot of work for nonprofits.
and like I've read a lot and seen a lot of people talk about a nonprofit's marketing department.
There are many good ones.
And
There are some who have dedicated marketing companies or marketing persons, and then there are nonprofits that are overworked that wear many hats and try
Yeah.
to do. The marketing person can have several roles in the organization, and
this stretches to just regular business too. Other
right, yes,
businesses.
yes, it does definitely. There are a lot of small businesses that do not have marketing people, and when you're working directly with the CEO or the person in charge of the business, it's very difficult to get them to listen to you about what'll work, what won't work. A lot of companies say, "I want a video," and I'm like, "Well, what kind of video?" "I want a video." "Well, how would you like your video to play out?" "I want a video." Okay, so then we really have to kind of say, okay, who's your target audience, and the difference between someone like that, which is okay, we can help them figure that out.
And we do a lot of that. Yeah.
But the beauty of having a marketing person is that they 9 times out of 10 contact us knowing exactly what they want. And we just tell them how we go about executing that, and it makes everything so much easier.
Well-
Too many times people don't want to listen to the process. They don't feel they want to engage in the communication it takes to come up with a plan for that. And we are kind of trying to push away from that because it leaves too much responsibility for us to come up with what we don't even know what they want.
I think that some of the problem is we do, you come to us, we have a whole bunch of ideas just because we've done it enough. We can throw some ideas out at you, but you need to be involved in the process.
Right.
Like we need to get the feedback. And if you don't have a marketing person is going to do that, they'll be open to these ideas.
Right. It's somebody that we can reach
and they're
without
also,
hearing just get it done.
Right.
It doesn't work that way.
And working, especially if you're getting rolling and trying to do this kind of thing, the different experience you get, the contrast and the workflow and the experience of working with people is. You get a marketing person, or you got it might not even have to be a marketing, just someone who
Someone
knows
appointed to work with you.
knows what they want, or someone who is just totally the liaison, who is going to, you can bounce ideas off of, say, what do you think of this? This is good. And instead of like, hey, what do you think of this? It's all good, just get it done and send it to me.
That's not going to be a quality. See, that is
Right.
one of the reasons that I want to kind of push away from those kind of jobs, because I really feel like, if somebody comes to me and says, "Hey, I need something cheap. Can you just shoot it with your phone?" No, I can't, because that's not the kind of work I do. There's nothing wrong with a phone video. That's just not what we do. So therefore, if you want a video and you're just going to say, "Okay, I want a video, do whatever," I'm probably not going to take that job, because you're not going to get a quality product. You're not going to know how to market it. That's not the kind of work I do. I might not be the right person for you if you just want to throw that on to me and not have any say so, because I don't know your business. I don't know what your target audience is. I can guess, but I don't know those things. And then my product is not going to be effective. Therefore, it's not going to be quality, and I don't want to do that kind of work.
Well, the fact of the matter is no one knows your nonprofit organization or your business better than you do or your people do.
Right.
Now, if you're leaving, we can make some guesses, but I mean, we may or
Well,
may
you
not be
also
right.
have to pay for that. If we have to do a whole lot of research,
Right, that's
and
called
planning,
pre-production.
that costs more. And then usually what will happen is editing, and then there's going to be a lot of things that you might want to change, and that's going to cost more too. So really, in the long run, it's best to have a definite plan. And if you don't know, that's okay. We can help you figure it out. Just take the time at first to do it, rather than just trying to guess.
Moving forward without a plan, in the long run, it's going to cost you more.
Right,
I mean,
yes,
just
yeah,
flat out.
yeah.
I mean, because things are going to change. We're going to have to redo things, or
Yeah.
we're going to need more information. We're going to have to go out and do a whole new shoot just because we didn't get any input from
Yeah, right.
someone, or like knowing this going into it. And I'm not going to mention any names. We worked with a client recently who had a lot of people we had to interact with. and it was just set up what we needed from
Yes.
to get out of that client, out of that person in front of the camera. It was like, I don't know how many different cities.
Right.
It's like 20
They
something
had set all
interviews.
that up. We did not have to reach out. A lot of times, too, if a business hires us to interview people and they give us those persons' names, they don't respond to us as well as they do the original client they're working with. So I found a lot of hardship in that.
Well,
So having someone do set those things up is really, and like I said, we can help with that.
well, and the scheduling part for anybody is just a pain.
Oh
in the butt,
yes,
you know? I mean,
scheduling is very hard.
no one's gonna just come up and say, "Oh, you want to put me on camera in a big intimidating set?" No, they're gonna put that off as much as they possibly
that's true,
can.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
So yeah, they're definitely gonna listen to their buddy in the organization that
Or their
they're doing
boss,
it for.
or
Yeah.
whoever it is. Yes, definitely. So communication is such a big deal.
Oh, so I think we covered that.
Yeah.
And you know what? Just on a side note on all that is for us to have more well-planned shoots or shoots that we're getting the feedback back and forth to plan ourselves better. It leads to a cheaper because we don't have to go back and we forgot someone. We know exactly what we have to do. That communication is so important between the client and the creative person. We're not, it's not
Written communication too. You
and
need
written
to have it
communication.
in
It's
an
not
email.
like you're asking someone to go install a electric outlet. Just get it done.
Right.
There's a lot more that has to go into it
Yeah.
than putting 3 wires in there and
Right.
doing it.
Yeah.
So what is it? Scams, thefts, and bad apples. You want to talk some about bad apples, or you want to go into?
No, I
the
really
scams?
don't. I really don't want to talk about the vague thing that we were going to talk about because I can't keep it vague.
Yeah.
But this scam that is in front of me about.
Well, we've gotten this several times.
I'm sure that these scams are tailored to different businesses, but for photographers and videographers, there is some crazy things happening. First of all, that LinkedIn scam.
I printed out the scam, and just so you know, if you go to the last page, it starts with the initial thing and my response.
Right.
So you
First,
might-
though, I did. I looked over
Okay.
that. That's a big deal. That's a big long whole
gonna
thing.
try to
But no,
find this
the
along.
LinkedIn scam recently, you'll get an email that says you have a message on LinkedIn. And so you go and you try to click on the message and it won't take you there and it wants you to sign in. Well, if you're like me, you're already signed in on your phone, so you're like, okay, well, you don't want to put your credentials in there. Well, it's a scam to get your login information. So be aware of that. If you get something in some kind of email that says, oh, you have a message from so-and-so, and they'll pick out a very important client on your LinkedIn page, and you'll be excited because you think you're hearing from them about a job, and it'll ask you to sign in. But like I said, if you're like me, you're already signed in on your phone, so the alarm bells start going off. Just be very wary of clicking on links and signing into places. You'll see that the website isn't quite right. The email address was something, do not reply LinkedIn, or it was some weird little misspelling somewhere, some strange looking sign-in page. You'll notice that, but just don't be too quick to click on any links, please. Everyone, not just photographers. That's for everyone. LinkedIn's having some scams.
Yeah, everybody's having some scams.
Yeah, but they're getting
it's getting worse and worse.
They're getting very clever. The only reason I stopped myself was because I'm like, wait, I'm already signed in. What are they talking about? So
I have opened the doors to a couple too. Petapixel had a story about photographer David Koch, and he does real estate photography. And basically, his deal was he got contacted by someone to shoot 6 properties of varying sizes, and they were, I guess, Wendy's, and they were getting these places and remodeling them, and they wanted before and after pictures, and went on, and they sent him the full amount. What he quoted, they sent him a check for the full amount, complete with a check with the Wendy's logo on it, kind of seemed a little fishy. You know, just paying just so quickly up front for the whole entire finished job.
No one does that. And if you do, stop it. Don't do that.
And you notice like things were a little weird. So he, so basically, this deal is they send a check. It looks legit. It has the Wendy's logo on it. It has a weird address on it. Here's what happens. They're sending you the check. They want you to cash it. They're going to find some problem that they overpaid you or something is wrong. It's a refund scam. They're going to send you the, which is actually what they seem to be doing in a lot of these scams. They're going to try to tell you that you need to refund part of it. Ideally within a small time frame between when you cash that check or when you deposit that check and before it clears. Which takes us to this email, which we got. This is one that has come across our email boxes a multitude of times. This one started out a little unusual, and this comes through our website contact form. We do get legitimate business through there.
Right.
You know?
Yep. I usually will talk to them on the phone, or just say we need more information or a Zoom call. That usually will get them to go away.
I was already hesitant of this because, first of all, the email address is from Hotmail.
Yeah. People, if you have a Hotmail, I shouldn't even say this.
Which the Wendy's guy, wait a second, the
Yahoo,
Wendy's guy.
AOL, Hotmail, get rid of it.
Or like your ISP, Roadrunner, or
Get rid of it.
Comcast.net.
Get rid of it because a lot of scammers are using those things. It makes you look less official.
I should mention on the Wendy's thing, the Wendy's representative was emailing through a Gmail account.
Yeah. Gmail's even getting...
I mean, well, if you're with a place like Wendy's, why would you not have...
Yeah, Wendy's.com or...
whatever the corporate
And if you're in
company
business
is.
for yourself, get your domain name. You can get it for free through Zoho.
Well, you can get domain name, you can get your email totally done there. What am I getting a notification
Not that
for?
there's... Gmail is acceptable still, but...
Yeah, but...
If you
like-
wouldn't... The point is that you wouldn't get a legitimate business response from somebody at AOL.
Like I've said...
As big as Wendy's.
Yeah,
That wouldn't
like
be
I
happening.
said, if you got a domain name...
Your CEO...
Use it. Get an email on there. It's most web hosts give that to you for free. Just
If Wendy's marketing person is contacting you, they are not going to be using an AOL account. It's going to be some kind of Wendy's
and
thing.
most people using AOL, Yahoo, Roadrunner, Comcast.net, you're gonna send them that video file. They're not gonna have a clue what to do with it. So this scam.
That was kind of mean.
Well, whatever. I was a tech guy, and people would send me stuff, and I was just like, I would, when I was doing programming, I would decide whether or not I wanted to work with them based
Based
on
on
that.
that, that's yeah. I decide what I might be up against.
I mean,
when
that's
see
not.
that. It's kind of judgmental, but
That's not how it is with the video, but when I was doing programming, I was like, I am not working with anybody with an AOL email address. And that was legit because I broke that rule several times and regretted it.
yeah.
So the scam that we've got the scam several times, but it started out a little different this time. Usually they kind of, they jumped into the second part first. This one started out from our website, from a Hotmail email address. I would like to use your service to create an animation for my new company advert. Please let me know your interest and I'll send you more details.
First of all, the language is just a little strange.
It's a little off, but you know, if you just kind of skim through, what am I going to say to them? I would be happy to look at your project. Would you like to schedule a call or a Zoom meeting to go over what you were looking for? That's the first thing I'm doing with anybody. I'm not going to, if I don't get to talk to them, like in person, to have that face-to-face contact, we're not just going to get a list. We have to talk to people.
Right.
And so after that, I have to go through this whole thing backwards here because the way it's printed. Jeez, okay, so, and this is, so the first time we got the scam, it kind of, the first thing we got was this. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it starts with thanks for getting back to me. Actually, let me read a little bit of it. I'd like to know if I got the right contact to an animation design company. I want you to create for me an animation video for my new company, which will have five outlets or physical location, not locations, around the United States. The content created will be used on the company website and also displayed on installed HD TV in our physical locations. Company name, McCurdy's Restaurant. Okay, a lot of times these are going to be real companies too that they're going to put in there.
Yeah. But it won't be associated with the real company.
My website is under construction. Will be registered soon. That's a red flag.
That's first red flag.
Full context, background music, full content, background music, and pictures for this design contents will be submitted to you by my project consultant. You just have to handle the layout and design. 4. I want to add our core values, mission, blah, blah, blah. 5. My budget for 4 videos is super flexible and do not have to have a fixed price.
Flag number 2.
6. I want this delivered in 5 to 6 weeks at the latest. They have to actually kind of say a timeline.
Flag number 3, because a project that big, yeah.
So
good luck finding
then it goes on
somebody.
about the goals. You'll produce 4 videos each. And they go through all these details. Approximate segment time of 127. So you'll deliver 8 videos, 1080p, 4 original finished videos, 4 raw videos for each original video. The raw video can be used for future edit, blah, blah, blah. They give 4 examples that has nothing to do with them.
Right. That's
stuff
that's
on
another big
YouTube.
flag is the if you're like if we're going to show the kind of videos that we can do, we're going to show our videos, not here's somebody else's video, we can do something like this. Like, that should always be a red flag.
So there's a half page of requirements that keeps going beyond that. I want you to know that this is the first time I'll be doing an animation, so I can only give you a little details, but can give you a better. So it goes on. The quote for each of these 4 videos.
You forgot one thing.
What?
There is an emotional catch to this. They talk about, you don't read it or anything. They talk about how important the business is to them. It's their dream come true. So there's, especially if you're a photographer that's just starting out and you're just starting to make a living, which is who they target. You're going to be like, oh, wow, I'd really love to help, because most people want to help somebody whose dream is coming true and being realized. So you got the heartstring part there. That's another big red flag. I've never had a legitimate professional business contact me with any kind of emotional anything. It's always been all business.
So the quote should include, now we've had like a page or 2 of requirements. This is where it gets crazy. If you're a video person.
Right. These are all very expensive things.
120-second duration, HD 1080. Okay. Unlimited revisions.
That's expensive.
How you gonna quote for that?
That's expensive.
Professional script.
Per revision.
Concept and storyboard. 3D modeling. 3D 3D characters. What are they? They didn't really say. Texturing the 3D characters. Rigging. Animation. Lighting. Camera setting. Rendering. Compositing and special VFX, music and foley, custom settings, characters and graphics, animation effects and visualization, voiceover, all accents, male and female.
That's very expensive.
Editing and final output. Please get back with me. A price estimate quote based on the above information and your cell phone number. That list of requirements, first of all, for they want an animation video. That would be digital animation. Where's your rigging? Where is...
it just looks like they pulled from a glossary of technical terms.
I mean, if you're doing animation, are you going to light the computer that the person's working on? There's just so much weird here. It's just like they had to cover everything they could.
Right, to make that price tag high. And actually, if you're getting into all that, and you only get that's way over $4,000.
Way. I mean, with all those translations,
just as the Wendy's, using the Wendy's as a reference, that's way over $4,000.
You're starting anywhere between. I mean, on the
and that's not our price. That would be what we would
on a very
hire people for.
Small company. You're looking 10 to 15,000 at the very bottom of the barrel, if not more.
Yeah.
So what would happen after that is they would either you would ask for a deposit. They would have your cell phone number because they will
meeting with them and making sure
totally socially manipulate you about everything. They would send your deposit and probably end up sending the full amount, or there's probably going to be something with their consultant, some fees that they got to get worked out, and they can't because they're overseas. Because I think that came into one of them we got, that they can't. They have a consultant working on it all for them, and then you're gonna cash that check. It's gonna be a bad check, and then they're gonna demand that money back that they overpaid for whatever reason. You're gonna send it back, and then you're out that money.
Right. You're out the amount they overpaid you, which is probably going to be a couple $1,000s.
At least, if not more.
Yeah.
Initially, I thought as they wanted free videos to sell, you know,
That
but
might have been the case. There's many ways they can do it, but just demanding that you meet with them is, so you have that face-to-face thing. They're not going to put that much work into it. But it's devastating how people are falling for this.
and like the scams are all over the board. I mean, I mean, you think of the scams out there like the Social Security check scam. You think of old people falling for it, the tech support scams. I mean, they're targeting. You know why they're targeting video people is because there's so many people.
They're
at
very
that beginning stage.
right.
You know?
Yeah, they're beginning. They just a lot of people are going into photography and video to make extra money. But I get it. I really don't think anyone deserves this.
Yeah.
So, and I would bend over backwards to help anybody, no matter how many people are in competition, whatever. There's plenty of work for everybody. Seriously, I definitely believe that now. Having had to turn down some things recently, just because we can't squeeze I can't take on everything and give everyone a quality product. I just can't. We have to. We have to draw the line somewhere, or else we're just going to run ourselves crazy, and nobody's going to get a quality
That's
product.
true. And I think next time we get one of these scams, let's put it on video. Let's go as far as we can with it,
Yeah.
and see what we can do.
Okay.
Let's record the phone calls.
Yeah,
and
you're pretty
make
good
everything.
at messing
what
with
we can
those scammers.
On my
It's
personal
hilarious.
YouTube page, we have it's a tech support for the computer stuff. We had them for 40 minutes on the phone. And the thing about those scams are,
What about the one where you reversed it and erased their database?
well, that happens. But the one that I'm talking about with you,
That
where you were there, we had 40 minutes. We had them like thinking we were going to buy gift cards and in the car, and you know that 40 minutes that we kept them on the line is 40 minutes they can't scam.
And that
else.
guy actually had a sense of humor, because in the end we started making it about I was going to have a date with him and his wife.
It was more.
It was a little
It
bit-
was more crude than that. But
Yeah, it was, but we were going to have a date and we were going to hook up, and he started chuckling and playing along with us. But still, we wasted all that time. And we went several tiers of management, because, you get, the hook, line, and sink process. There's usually about 5 guys that you have to go along and before you get to
The restaurant?
before you get to the grand poobah.
Yeah.
So, and I think we got to the grand poobah, and
Yeah,
once
you got the guy that tries to hook them where they know they're going to get the deal.
then you get the next level. Then you get that supervisor whose wife we talked about.
Yeah, they talked a lot.
Yes, yeah, it was actually very fun.
All right, so I don't know if that really qualifies.
I would not indulge in that. If you do not give any. If you ever do that, just don't give any accurate information. Don't give them your real birth date. Give them a fake one. Give a fake social. All that stuff has to be fake.
Just never give out any information.
Yeah,
Most of these places aren't going to call you or send you an email. And
don't give any real information.
Don't click
if you
the
want to play
links
that
in the
game.
email.
No, God, never.
Go straight. That's like kind of your LinkedIn story. It was an email or something. You click the link from the email.
It was an email, and I was excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, we haven't heard from this person. That's a national client. Maybe he has something we get to travel, So I was really excited about it. It's like, oh, no, this isn't right. And I even sent him an email and said, hey, I think I may have gotten a email scam through LinkedIn. Did you try to contact me? And I did not hear from him, but I did hear from the other client. He said, no, he had not contacted me through LinkedIn, so.
So I don't know if you can tell, I've been watching a lot of these scammer videos, been binge watching
Thank
them.
God.
But I don't know. I think that
Watch that stuff, because it really lets you know, and have your mom watch it too. Because if you're our age, we're in our late 40s, our moms are targeted. Watch that stuff with your mom. Get some popcorn. It's very entertaining.
Oh, my mom's so terrible.
She's not allowed to answer the phone.
I have been to the bank many a times. I can count to either change her checking account number, get her a new card.
I've had to
or
fix my
whatever.
mom's computer because she's been duped into thinking that her screen is black forever and that her computer is gone.
It's ridiculous.
Yes. Yeah.
So I guess, I guess that qualifies as this podcast, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm
Where we
watching.
talk like we know something.
I know some stuff. I mean, we left a lot out, so maybe we have something for next time.
Right. Well, there's some things that were purposely left out.
Well, I don't think I need to print the scam emails, like all 20 pages. Like, what is this? This is just, it looks like we have so much to talk to, which is the whole email thread. It looks like it's even repeated. Anyway.
It is. There's 2 sets of it in there.
Next time we will follow that through and it'll be fun.
But feel free if anybody ever share your experience. We would really like to have more people talking with us and amongst us during these podcasts. So I'd love to hear what somebody else may have gone through, or anybody that needs help.
And you know,
I mean, there's plenty I need help with too. I might be reaching out to you.
I think our rewatch thing happens because a lot of people aren't up at 11:15 p.m. So.
Except we have 2 viewers. I think it's you and me.
We've had a
So
couple.
I'm going to ask you something.
What's interesting is we've had people drop in. I'm not sure what Facebook is doing these days because I see a couple people who've dropped in, but then people have dropped in like kind of
Oh, you have people
anonymously.
saying things.
Just,
You can see who's watching. I can't
but
see.
people have dropped in and it hasn't showed up, so I don't know what that's about.
Is anybody else going live and not seeing who's watching them? Doesn't that creep you out a little bit?
I don't like it.
I don't either. I want to see who's watching me so I can be like, oh, yay, someone, oh, yay.
But I think we're gonna call it good.
It's
Yeah?
good.
All right.
It's good.
So see you. We're gonna say next month, but maybe so it's what May.
No, we're going on
so maybe
vacation. No,
August.
we're going on vacation in June, so we're not going to leave town. But
We are struggling with things we want to do monthly. We'll get that together.
we'll get it together, and hopefully we'll do one during that time.
Maybe.
So,
Maybe.
during our vacation.
Maybe we'll do a remote one.
We should do one like on a beach,
We'll
but
do a
like
remote
it'll
one.
look like we're in a really, really nice tropical place, but we'll be like there'll be litter and dead fish and stuff around.
Maybe
As you
we'll-
zoom out,
Maybe we'll do one from Indiana Beach.
that would be freaking cool. The
'Cause
pool
that's
that
our
I didn't get to
vacation,
swim
yeah,
in.
Yeah.
You can watch me swim.
It'll
It
be
looks
crappy
like a
hotel
dog.
Wi-Fi. Maybe we'll record it and then broadcast it because
Or
no
do
one's
it in-
interacting with us anyway.
Or do
so.
it on our phone.
Yeah, or do
Just
it
go
on-
out and do the full phone live stream thing.
All right, well, guys, as usual, check us out. We're on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn,
Yes, we don't get enough likes on LinkedIn, so please.
and
It's hurting my esteem.
kind of not on Twitter. I mean, we
No.
have an account, just don't bother.
Yeah.
We will be on TikTok soon, so we're like unaging and becoming younger. so-
Unaging, coming. No, my back is not saying that. Okay.
All right, you guys have a good night. And